So already we have had two different conversations right now. One regarding clothing, one regarding language and accents. The third challenge that you might see with ethnic groups or minorities is food. Yes, we all love food. But I want you to kind of picture, in the 1970s and 80s, that my mom, who loves her son, wants to make sandwiches. She wants to make these amazing ground beef sandwiches called Tikka. And it has the onions and the spices, and she makes them into sandwich bags, and she puts in my, lunch box. I'm ready, I'm excited because I love it. You come to school, and then it's lunchtime, and then you open it up. And then for me, that smells like the aroma of spices. But then everyone next to me is like, whoa, what is that? What is this smell? Why is there so much spices? Now, some of the adult teachers are like, ooh, I smell this and that, right? But for the other kids, like, whoa, that doesn't seem like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches here. That's not like a bologna sandwich. What is this? And that smell. And that became a challenge where sometimes kids would be like, all right, to a point where some of the minority kids were all on one table just so that the smell and everything would be a little bit more comfortable for some individuals. Even to a point where they put some of the locker partners and say, hey, why don't we have these locker partners of minority kids, so that way, hey, the food issue wouldn't be a problem with another student, right? So I understand, the thought process, but at the same time, it could also separate kids now and feeling that like, hey, you know what, they're isolated because of also the food aspect. So something to kind of think about. Or I remember, for some of you guys from Indian Pack, we're known for curry and spices. And I remember there's a thing called chicken tikka. For anyone who might have had it, you know that it is good. And the chicken tikka, but now if you bring that to school and some kids are looking at it and like, why is your chicken red? Is your chicken have blood? Did your mom not cook this correctly? Habeeb's chicken has blood in it. He's eating blood. Ew. I'm like, no, it's chicken tikka or it's chicken 65. This is really good. Try some. Ah! Right? So you got people all over panicking because of some of these concerns that they might have regarding the chicken tikka or the spices that we have. So I want you to realize that even food becomes something of a factor, and making sure if it's not the norm or they're not something comfortable with, or the way the color looks. So that's something else I want you to realize. Then also you might have some ethnic or minority students where because of their faith, and even students who are born here or not of any ethnic groups, because of their faith might have rules and regulations. A Jewish student who might be who is kosher might not be able to eat some of the candy because if it doesn't have kosher gelatin. Or you might have an individual who's a Muslim where they have to make sure that the food or the candy doesn't have any pork products in there. Right? So you might see some kids pick up and say, hey, you know what, I'm not going to participate, or I can't eat this. Or some of the food that's going to be at the lunchtime and the sandwiches that they have and the meat that they have might not be able to go ahead and buy from there just due to the rules and regulations of due to faith. Some might be a minority issue is because of money, right? They just got here and they're trying to make it just with the norm, so they might not have enough money to go ahead and purchase the snacks here, and so they're like, I'm gonna bring food from home. And that food might have some taste or some smell, but that's what you will see. So there are various things that come into play of an individual, right? So now that you understand that, now if you had a minority, because of the appearance, right, and the challenges that they have because of ethnic groups, and even financially because they might not have the money to buy new stuff, then you might have another concern because of the accent. The third might be because of food. You could see how much all these pressures could come in and that could break a child. And this is why it is so important that I think as schools, when we had International Night, which celebrates people's clothing, celebrates their languages, celebrates their food. I remember when that happened and I started seeing other ethnic groups, like, wait a minute, they have some different outfits too. Wait a minute, their food kind of has some different little color to it. I don't know about, my food. And then you see their languages and their songs in different languages. then it also made me feel comfortable. And that was something I really think played a big part. Having international nights, or when one of your teachers showed a video about a different ethnic group and their background culture and celebrating different cultures, learning about different civilizations, these other factors all go ahead and play a big part.